folks, Aditya here once again bringing you a trip report on a Singaporean low-cost carrier Jetstar Asia flying the trunk route on Hong Kong to Singapore. This trip report is the last on my HK series where I flew in on Scoot and spent a few days around the city. Jetstar Asia is the Singaporean version of the bigger low-cost subsidiary of Qantas based in Australia, and they have a double daily service to Singapore, and we would be flying the last flight out and also the first flight of the day that arrives into Singapore. So we caught the MTR to get to the airport from Tsim Sha Tsui, taking a bit of a winding route to get there. Then we caught a bus the rest of the way and arrived into the airport just short of 90 minutes before departure.
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened.
I just trudged up to the counters at the main level of the terminal, only to find out that the check-in counters for Jetstar are at Terminal 2 of the airport. Honestly, I did not even know there was another terminal at Hong Kong. It only really features check-in counters, as after you check in you still need to head back to the main terminal to board your plane. Now, as with my onward, I don't have any check-in baggage, so the process was very quick and I'm out into the airside. Well, here you catch a train to head back to the main terminal. Like my previous narrow-body flight out of HK, which was on a Dragonair Airbus A320, we're gonna be at a bus gate which is away from the main part of the terminal and is slightly crowded at this hour. At the gate, I spent time texting family and friends before boarding was announced quite quickly, and I boarded towards the start of the queue. Jetstar, like other LCCs in the region, use an Airbus A320 fleet, and I'm flying on a nearly 11-year-old one.
Flight on Singapore, night 3 hours and 30 minutes. Expect pretty nice weather all the way to Singapore. I get some light turbulence once getting airborne out of Hong Kong, some weather around the city. And some turbulence I expected as well after 1 or 2 hours when approaching the Vietnam coast. Nice weather expected in Singapore. Before I was to get back to you shortly, we hope commencing descent in Singapore to give you an update on the weather and landing time. Today we are right on time in Singapore. And like taking for Jetstar Asia, wish you a very good flight. Thanks for attending.
We'd also like to extend a welcome to our coaster passengers, Qantas Mega Flyers, and Jetstar credit card holders who are traveling with us this evening. The portable shower devices, including laptop computers.
Okay, at this point I realized that my SD card was almost full and I did not have an empty spare. So unfortunately, I really hate that I had to do this, but I had to stop video recording and switch to photo mode instead. I'm really sorry guys, but hopefully my narration will be good enough. So it was a straight out taxi and takeoff with no holdups due to traffic, probably due to the timing. The takeoff was a smooth and powerful one, and we were in the air and up above the clouds soon enough, taking a left turn to head towards Singapore. I tried doing the seat pan shot to show you how it's like sitting in the Jetstar A320 seat. It's actually almost identical to the AirAsia A320 seat. And after that, the crew started off by distributing pre-booked meals, and this time I did get something, mainly just to show you guys something. I believe this is called roasted chicken herb with gravy, and since I pre-booked it, it also comes with water and a little Kit Kat bar. The food is actually pretty good, and they also give you salt and pepper sachets, which is quite surprising and quite honestly a bit cute for a low-cost carrier. It's a nice little touch really. Now I thought that was it until I found that the set also includes a coffee or tea service, which was pretty nice. Now it might seem a lot, but the price is pretty high at 20 Singapore dollars for the stuff you get, especially compared to other airlines like AirAsia for the same amount of food. They then dimmed the lights in the cabin, so this turned to this. I decided that I might as well pull my book out and get some reading done on the remaining 2.5 hours of the flight, but a little after that I noticed this outside the window. An array of lights just off the coast of Vietnam. It was incredibly bright and much brighter than the surrounding lights of villages and towns nearby. It was a spectacular sight to see, believe me. I then tried out playing a game on my phone, which isn't really my thing, but I was too tired to read my book at this point. Zen, my friend who I traveled with, had something more sensible, watching a movie for the whole flight. The rest of the flight was uneventful, and before I knew it, we were landing, and the approach into Singapore involves flying over the airport before pulling a 180 and landing into runway 2 left. You can see the whole island from the air, and it's pretty sweet at night with all the lights turned on. You can also see all the ships offshore waiting to enter into the harbor. It was a standard approach into the airport, and we touched down ahead of time by quite a margin. So that's it, a quick 3.5 hour flight on a new airline. Let's talk about the seat. I would say that this is pretty much the standard LCC A320 leather seat, which is the bare minimum in terms of comfort you will find on AirAsia and Tiger. Hence I'm gonna give the usual 6. Moving on to the crew, they were really warm and cheerful, much more than I expected for an LCC and a late night flight. The crew who served my aisle had a friendly tone when addressing people, and I think that really set the mood for the flight. A very good 9. Next, to the value for money, Jetstar were the cheapest on the route after Tiger and Scoot, which means that they were the most expensive LCC on this route. The margin wasn't that high, but if not for trip reporting, I think I would have taken the earlier Tiger Air based on price. So a standard 6 out of 10. While Jetstar didn't really impress me, I think they did more than what I expected, and I definitely fly them again, but probably based on the fares. So Jetstar gets a combined total of. When landing on 2 left is a pretty quick taxi towards Terminal 1 where Jetstar flies from, and we got off the aircraft making a quick walk towards the arrivals. I'm pretty used to Terminal 1 now after flying with AirAsia, and I personally think it's nicer than Terminal 2. We were out of it pretty fast because we didn't have to collect luggage and caught a cab back. Right, that'll be it. I know I'm a little late on this one, I'm sorry about that, but hopefully the next one comes out pretty fast, and I might be flying as well. See ya!